Penny, Daisy, Joey, and Lucy bring more than poop on the floor and pee on the carpet, but they fill my life more life than I could ever imagine. Every morning when I wake up, they're there. When I get home, they're there to greet me with pure excitement. When I take them for a walk, they're more than pleased. When I eat, cry, sleep, laugh, or just watch TV, they're never more than an arm's length away. I could never imagine my life without them, and I could never imagine anyone's life without dogs. Dogs are truly man's best friend. Today I want to talk to you about the benefits of having a dog or any type of pet. I'm qualified to talk about the subject because I have lived with dogs my whole life and done extensive research for this speech. I'm sure you've all seen dogs before, see the way humans and dogs interact, and I'm sure most of you interact with dogs daily. I would like to thank everyone to get a dog or a pet because we fulfill the need for touch, aid in depression and stress, and increase your physical health. In this movie Crash, directed by Paul Haggis, the main theme is about touch. A quote from the movie is that sense of touch. I think we miss that touch so much that we crash into each other so we can feel something. The whole movie is about crashing into someone to feel some type of connection. Everyone needs to feel connected to something, someone where they're able to share their feelings with. And even though dogs are able to communicate back, they can do this by either just sitting close to you or like snuggling up on your lap, just to like feel the heartbeat, just feel that like someone cares and someone relies on you. It gives meaning to your life and it gives you that sense of connection to someone. According to Sharon Saxon, who is a writer, journalist, television producer, reader, and dog show judge with a master in fine arts in writing, she states a study at Warwick University found that people who were poor at making friends, confiding in others, and showing love were able to lavish affection on a pet. She also states, human relationships are sometimes too complicated to let us touch and hold another person, but your dog is always available for this job. The physical and mental disabled have an expressive, strong bond because it's easier to connect with the dog rather than the human. Like the dog doesn't know their mental capabilities and just loves them like they love everyone else. Dogs are also put in prison to help change like long-term attitudes. And for most of the inmates, it's the first time that they've ever felt or received any type of affection. Another example of where people like rely on dogs for like a touch or for homeless people. Like when we see homeless people with dogs, most of us like feel sorry for them or feel sorry for the dog that the homeless person shouldn't even have a dog because they're like unable to feed them and stuff like that. But the homeless people like really rely on the dog to give them that sense of comfort. And so when they go get food from shelters, they usually give like half of their food to the dog. And like when the donors found out that they were doing this, they were outraged and felt like it was like an unnecessary burden to feed their pet. However, the volunteers didn't realize how hard life was on the street, and that the homeless, their dog, was their only source of love. Sharon Saxon states that pets offer their owners raw, unfiltered, and unconditional love, trust, and respect. Mainly, dogs fulfill that need for touch to people of many ways of life. Consequently, that need for touch usually helps in eliminating depression and stress. According to Dr. Marty Becker, writer of The Healing Power of Pets, he quotes a pediatric psychologist, Aubrey H. Fine. Aubrey explains, the depressed person may be very alienated and alone, or may choose to be alone, and an animal can get him or her out and involved. Becker states the recovery story of a girl who was clinically depressed, and she found out that she somewhat liked animals, and she suggested that she go volunteer at a pet shelter, and so she took dogs for walks and adopted kittens and stuff like that, and she slowly came out of her depression. According to Dr. Foster and Smith Incorporation, which is a pet store that sells veterinary things, products for pets that veterinarians choose, they say that many of us like dogs or cats find ourselves absent-mindedly petting them, which is relaxing for both us and the pet. Dogs and pets not only aid in mental health, but physical health as well. For example, they aid in asthma, allergies, aging, arthritis, chronic pain, cancer, diabetes, and heart problems. According to Dr. Marty Becker, there is new evidence that suggests exposure to pets early in life might actually help the body build defense against allergies and asthma, thereby protecting children from developing reactions rather than triggering them. Small dogs help in soothing people who have arthritis. It forces a person with arthritis to take small walks, which is ideal. And also, according to Dr. Weinstein, director of the Arthritis Diagnostic and Treatment Center in San Antonio, he states, a dog or cat will usually allow you to rub their tummy all day long. You're thinking you're making the pet feel better, but in fact you're feeling better by moving your hands. The fur and the feeling is very relaxing. Dogs also help in lowering blood pressure. According to John Hopkins, professor and director of the Life Care Health Center in Baltimore, he observed that blood pressure rises when we speak to one another, yet it falls when we relate to humans. Relating to our animals, relating to our pets puts the body into a mode of hyper-relaxation, creating a natural blood pressure medication. Also, they did a study in classrooms where they had their silent reading time in elementary school, and in class they had a dog on one side and not a dog on the other, and they did the blood pressure and all the people, and then the kids that had the dog in the classroom, they had a lower blood pressure. The lowering of the blood pressure also relates back to pets eating and stress, so we kind of get learn on that relaxed feeling. I hope these facts about the pets and dogs encourage you, if you don't already have one, to go adopt a dog or a pet. And if you already have one, to appreciate everything they are doing for you. If you feel that need for touch, in our stressful and depressed lives, and if we ever fall ill, they're there to make us as comfortable as possible. Just remember, dogs are truly best friends. I know they're friends.
What did you think? Yes. Do we have anybody else in that in here?
I thought her attention device was okay. I got what she wanted to talk about right away. I understood the topic that she was wanting to talk about. I thought her points were good in her sources. She stated her sources every time, and she looked down, she looked on her card, but when she looked up, she was looking at her back, and I thought she did a good job in her function with study. So overall, the teaching, I think,
All right, well, the introduction, I think, was put together pretty well. I'm not sure that it was delivered as effectively as it could have been. I assume that those are your own dogs that you're talking about, and I think it would work better if you spoke more to us instead of reading, and there was a little bit more involvement in the presentation. Most of the presentation, by the way, is undermined by the fact that you are doing so much reading, and I think that that hurts at this point in the semester your credibility. The structure is very clearly laid out for the speech at the beginning, although I didn't think the signposting in the content of the speech was very solid. The content, though, was pretty good. You've got a lot of good examples and some illustrations to show the importance of dogs or pets on people's health. Some of the points I think could use a little bit more development. I'm still trying to figure out what volunteer would object to a homeless person giving their dog some of their food, but it sounds more like an apocryphal type of story rather than an actual story. It's a little hard to tell. I'm sorry, I've got an eyelash in my eye and it's distracting me a little bit. Speaking of eyes, like I said, your eye contact's a little bit low. Your gestures, your legs are crossed the whole time you're standing up there. It looks like you are waiting to use the bathroom instead of giving us a speech, and it just seems strange at this point that we're still doing a couple things like that. I thought you had a very effective summary, though, and a good exit at the end of the speech. All right, sorry about the distraction here.